And speaking of some of those federal workers, air traffic controllers are still going to work, but without pay. And they aren't the only ones. From national defense to Social Security, federal employees in key fields are expected to work without pay during a shutdown. Next, joining us, we have Senator Ron Johnson to share about his bill that may change that. Senator Ron Johnson, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks for having me on.
It's great to have you with us, Senator. So with the government shutdown today reaching 22 days, this is the second longest in history, you've now introduced what's called the Shutdown Fairness Act. This is to pay some federal workers. Talk to us about what this bill will entail.
Well, the first bill I introduced and we voted on was the Eliminate Shutdown Act, which we should have passed. We wouldn't even be having this conversation right now. We would never have to have this conversation in the future. Unfortunately, every Democrat voted against that. So we're in the shutdown. The ball's in their court. We will vote for the 12th time to reopen government by voting on the House Clean Continuing Resolution, something Democrats voted for 13 times under Biden. It said Biden's spending levels. I don't know what their beef is. Well, I know what they're trying to do, though. So all this does is, as long as we're forcing federal employees to work, the essential, we call them accepted, but these are the essential workers involved in national defense, law enforcement, writing Social Security checks, air traffic control. As long as we're forcing them to work, pay them. They're going to get paid anyway. We have a law that says when this all ends with an appropriation, everybody, working or furloughed employees, they all get back pay. So pay them while they're working. Don't force. I'm reading articles about TSA agents their wives having to go to food banks, or air traffic controllers having to drive DoorDash to pay for their child's tuition. This is beyond gross. It is just unconscionable that we would allow this to happen. So tomorrow, Democrats have an opportunity, if they're not going to open up government with the 12th vote on the CR this afternoon, to at least pay people we're forcing to work. I mean, it's so common sense. It's just so fair. I'm being told they're going to block it.
I mean, as you mentioned, real pain is starting to actually settle in for a lot of federal workers who are not going to be paid. We saw the reallocation of funds for our military members. Where might the money from for the rest of the workers come from?
Again, there's going to be limited pots of money. Donald Trump is not a king. He has certain reapportionment authority. He's trying to use that. I mean, one difference between this shutdown versus previous shutdowns where we've had a Democrat president, Democrat presidents always try to make shutdowns as painful as possible because the legacy media is blaming Republicans. In this case, it's clearly the Democrats' fault, but President Trump is trying to make this shutdown as painless as possible for everybody involved. Just night and day difference in terms of the way this thing's being managed, but they're trying to find pots of money. They're trying to pay these essential workers. The way to do it is just vote for the Shutdown Fairness Act tomorrow.
Senator, you mentioned that Democrats previously voted on this exact same CR 13 times at Biden-era spending levels. Help us understand that, unpack that for us, and what would you say to the Democrats that are saying that Republicans aren't coming to the table?
Well, first of all, if you really want to enter a negotiation, you load your requirement up with so many different items, and the other side comes with all kinds of items. You're ready to bargain them away. We bargained ours all away. It's not no continuing resolution is exactly the same, but this is a clean continuing resolution. It doesn't have any policy provisions. It doesn't have any poison pills in it. It's just a clean continuing resolution at President Biden's spending levels. These are spending levels that Democrats voted for. So again, we came to the negotiating table with nothing really more to negotiate. We're just going to open up government. Democrats came saying, "Oh, well, we'll give you 4 weeks of continuing operation. We're just asking for $1.5 trillion worth of spending." It's so unreasonable. There's no place to compromise. We've done all the compromising up front. We came with our bottom line offer, which is eminently reasonable. It's the type of continuing resolution they've always demanded, which we, in the end, always give them. We just started out with that.
Lastly, Democratic Senator John Fetterman, your colleague on the Democratic side of the Senate, is now saying that Republicans should break the filibuster in order to reopen the government. Is this something that Senate Republicans are considering?
We certainly don't want to do that. We actually respect the tradition of respecting the minority rights of the Senate. It's quite honestly, it's prevented a lot of really bad legislation from being passed by just a mere majority. So, we actually think that's a good thing for our democracy, make it a little bit more difficult to pass a lot of these laws that do more harm than good. So, no, we certainly don't want to be suckered into doing what they've always wanted to do. I mean, they want to get rid of the filibuster because they want to turn this into a socialist nation as soon as they get the power to do so.
Slippery slope, certainly. Senator Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, really appreciate you joining us.
Have a good day.